Well, a big breaking story. Renowned Punjabi singer Sidhu Moosewala, he's been shot dead around 5:50 p.m. That's the time when unidentified gunmen attacked him. His car Thar four-wheeler in which he was going along with his friends, that was targeted, and bullets were sprayed on that car. Following which, Sidhu Moosewala was initially critically injured. When he was taken to the hospital, he was declared dead. Quite an unfortunate incident. Noted singer Sidhu Moosewala no more. I'm joined by my colleagues Jupinder Jeet Singh and Gurnaaz Kaur. To you first, Jupinder. Tell us first about the incident. What happened?
Well, it was a little while before 6 p.m. and Moosewala was headed towards Burj Wahar Ke village. That was where he was attacked, waylaid in fact. And as per the reports reaching us, he was driving his Thar car wearing a red t-shirt when there was a spray of bullets. Number of assailants is not exactly known, but it is definitely two or more than that. And he reportedly died on the spot also. He was hit number of times. There have been some claims, but we will not say how many bullets were hit and how many were sprayed. And that's
okay. Also, it does come just a day after his security was scaled down. He had four guards. It was scaled down to two. Now, obviously, questions are being raised on why the security was scaled down. What is the police saying about it?
Well, we don't have official reaction because police has started its investigation and are gathering information from the spot and others. But yes, it is very shocking. This is in fact the second major incident this month. Earlier there was a grenade attack on the Punjab Police Intelligence Headquarters, and this becomes more shocking because only yesterday his security was pruned. He had four guards from the Indian Reserve Battalion, out of which two were withdrawn. And we have learnt, learnt and seen the documents that the Intelligence Bureau, the Central Intelligence Agencies, has put him on the high security list for last 1.5 years. Because there were several ransom calls to Punjabi singers, Punjabi actors, producers, other than the businessmen in Punjab. Recently, 2 FIRs have been lodged, and my sources tell me that several artists have paid rupees 10 lakh each in last couple of months only.
Right.
And so police first theory about this thing is that it is a handiwork of gangsters, especially Canada based gangsters who were recently in news also for making ransom calls.
Right. As you mentioned, though it's very initial stage, the intelligence personnel, officials, what are they saying? Is it a clear fallout of the ransom calls being made by the gangsters, and who could be behind this? As far as Moosewala is concerned, there were reports he was getting ransom calls. Have they identified these groups or individuals who've been making these ransom calls?
Well, not yet, but definitely, there is this Rinda group, Rinda, who is involved in terror activities also. There are a couple of other gangsters who are based in Canada, mainly in Canada, but some are in UK also and Italy also. And the identification of exact group has not been made so far. It is common that, persons like it happened in the murder case of Kabaddi player Sandeep Singh, that immediately a claim was made on the Facebook.
Right.
But so far no such claim has been made.
And also, you mentioned that intelligence agencies had warned that he could be targeted. Doesn't it seem little awkward that despite intelligence input that he was high on the target list of these gangsters, the security was scaled down? Will the Aam Aadmi Party government or the police establishment, will they have to answer about this? Because obviously when they scale down the security, it would be based on certain inputs that he doesn't need security. But the fact that he's been targeted, he's been killed, doesn't it raise questions on that?
Yeah, definitely it raises a lot of questions on the AAP government, and I'm sure they will have to do a lot of clarification on this, and will definitely have to rethink on this. We were told that the orders mentioned that the security of 424 persons has been withdrawn on temporary basis. Okay. And one senior official told me yesterday, and we have mentioned this in our story also, that this security can be restored after the Kalukara week, which is up to in the first week of June. Right. However, I think Moosewala security was mainly withdrawn considering him a Congress leader. He had recently unsuccessfully contested election from Mansa. But yes, it is very, very shocking, and I think Punjab's law and order needs to be seriously looked into, because as we said, this is the second attack. And moosewala, if moosewala, who has his private gunmen also, there were two his own not bouncers but gun wielding guards he had on his own, and besides two from the IRB, and still he was shot like this. So it is very, very shocking, and government will definitely have to do some course correction here.
Any idea about where those guards were? Those I mentioned, those bouncers and those two armed guards. Where were they when this attack happened?
We don't have exact report, but two persons with him have been injured.
Okay.
So we don't know yet.
Great, okay, I'll just bring in Gurnaz also here. Gurnaz is from the Entertainment Web Desk. Gurnaz, first tell us a very controversial past, but definitely very well followed. A huge bit of following for Sidhu Moosewala. Take us through some of his albums, some of which were controversial. Take us through that.
So we all know that Sidhu Moosewala was very popular, and he had like following in millions. But not many know that he had a very humble beginning. When he started, it was a struggle from pillar to post. He would go to a lot of singers and songwriters because he was interested in singing right from the school days. So he went to a lot of known singers and songwriters, and when everybody refused to write for him, that's when he began writing on his own. And his first song as a songwriter was License, which was sung by Ninja. Post that, he gained this confidence that he'll be able to write, and then he wrote a couple of songs for other singers, and then he got into singing himself, and that's when he promised himself that he would only write his own songs. Then his breakthrough that came with So High, that was in 2018, and it was a Billboard hit. Okay. Following that, a lot of his songs like License and I'll tell you some names. There is License, then there is Jat the Mukabla, Hathyar, Legend, Devil. All these songs were blockbusters.
Okay. But there was a pattern to his lyrics. I mean, many would say, promoting gun culture. There was a lot of criticism which came with it, that he was promoting gun culture. Any fix, any interview which he had done explaining why he was promoting or why the lyrics were based on this?
So, not directly from Sidhu Moosewala, but in one interview with the Tribune, his father definitely had said that his screen presence versus his real life, the person that Sidhu Moosewala is in real life, are poles apart. They're like, nothing could be farther from true than the two people that we see, one on screen and the person who's back home. Right. So that's what his father had told in one of the interviews. I think what clicked with people, with the youngsters about his songs was that he was very, unabashedly honest.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what made him so popular and a favorite amongst youngsters.
And also, Gurnaz, how has the Punjab singing fraternity react? I mean, I'm sure that right now they must be reeling under the shock of hearing this news. Yes. But any reactions which have come from the industry?
Yes, everybody. If you take a look at the Twitter and even on the social media, everywhere there are messages of condolences, and everybody is very shocked. It is in fact a very shocking news. One day before, his security was withdrawn, and the next day he's been shot dead. Everybody is under shock. He's worked with very popular singers like Amrit Maan, like Maninder Bhuttar, Karan Aulja. All of these singers, they've collaborated and they've performed on stage together. So it's a shock for the entire industry.
Okay, and I understand the last video was something to do with this gun culture only. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what was the last video? I think we were talking about some videos which he has been, or generically, you can take us through some of the videos which had a very controversial contribution to it.
Not just his song videos. In fact, if you go through his social media post, you take a look at his Instagram, and you'll see that there's this Sidhu Moosewala holding guns and flaunting his four-wheelers. He was really fond of cars, and and tractors. He was very close to his roots at the same time. So most of his social media posts have guns and cars. Those were the highlights of his pictures. And recently, in fact, just last month, his song Sanju, he faced charges for his song Sanju, which was said to be promoting violence, and it was an attempt against AAP.
Okay.
in the song he was actually indirectly quoting up, and there were allegations around it.
Okay. And also the government had, in fact, we had a story also today in our Sunday Tribune about, government getting a little worried about this promotion. They've been, the Chief Minister has also made a statement some time back warning that, they should on their own make amends and not promote this culture, or else government would step in. What was the reaction of the singer fraternity when the government says that, look, here is a time to stop and bring end to this culture and promote sensible songs? What was it generically? What was the reaction from the industry?
From the industry, they so if it's there on our lifestyle today, the story, most of the people have said that they do not want a body to regulate their artwork, because that just would mean that it's like curbing on their artistic freedom. So which was a common response from all of them. At the same time, most of them just said that we are only following what is trending, and they need to so most of the singers, songwriters, their stance is that we want our songs to be famous, and we're doing what people like to listen to.
Right. Jabinder, I'll come back to you again about, many would be wondering if there are any intelligence chatter picked up by intelligence agencies on post the killing or before that. Were there any indications that Sidhu Moosewala had very serious threat to him?
Well, there, as per my official sources today, yes, there were threats, but it seems that Punjab police does not qualify him as a person, who had, perceived, for such attacks or something. Right. Otherwise, they wouldn't have curtailed his security. I think his security was curtailed more because he was a Congress leader now, right. And which is very sad state of affairs, and which has brought us to this sad day today. Right. So far, police, as the usual SOP is that they have not made any official comment, and they are all in a huddle. They're gathering information, and I think as the process goes, the mobile dump will be picked up, and the jail phones, and all that. The intelligence will probably by late tonight or by tomorrow morning we will be able to definitely tell. But officials so far say that we are suspecting gangsters' role in this, though there have been some talk of personal rivalry also. Right. During elections and other times, there are some rivalries, and there is one, he had some financial dispute with some persons also. Okay. So all that is being taken into account now.
Thank you, both of you, Jupinder and Gurnas, for those details. So the investigating agency is working on this very sensational killing of Sidhu Moosewala. As Jupinder mentioned, they're trying to work on several theories are being worked upon, but anything clearer will be established only when they pick up certain leads. That is being worked upon. We'll keep on providing you all the updates on this story, very big story, which has broken just about an hour back. So we'll keep on providing you all the updates. You can log on to our website, tribuneindia.com, and also on our other social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Meanwhile, thanks for watching.